Hi everyone, it's Sarah from Multifarious Nature, owner and creator. Welcome back if you're a returning viewer. If you're new, thank you for joining me today. And feel free to subscribe below and hit the bell for notifications. So when I post a new video, you'll be notified and then you can join me again. So today will be a little different than my last video and the usual video. I did not create anything this past week. Kind of a slow week for creating for Multifarious Nature for new items. So no new items in the shop at the moment, but I promise I'm going to keep working on more and I will get them added into the shop. So, but I will talk, of course, about works in progress still that I've been working on. So let's start with that, shall we? So let's do the Deandra Shawl. I've gotten a lot more done. The one thing about this shawl is it is hard to really see the progress because it is a freeform shawl. So, you know, let's see if you can try to see this without me dropping my needles. Oh goodness. All right. So this is going to be really hard to see because it's on a 40-inch circular, but there it is. So I've gotten a lot done. I've been doing these short rows. Again, my progress keeper is just to keep track of the front of my work, the right side, because in this you really need to keep track of your right side for your wrap and turns, or not wrap and turns, the German short rows, which is very similar to a wrap and turn. But if you have never done German short rows, I do highly recommend this pattern. It is a awesome pattern for learning that, and you'll see it. I find it a lot quicker than the wrap and turn. So just throwing that out there. And I'll of course include the link to this pattern below. And it's on Ravelry and it is free at this moment. You know, as far as the future, who knows? But you can see it just, oh, I love it so much. I love the shawl so much, and I am looking forward to wearing this because it just keeps turning. It's even more and more beautiful each time I look at it, and it really does. It reminds me so much of water. And for those of you who don't know me personally, I live in Zeeland, Michigan, and that's about maybe a 20-25 minute drive to Lake Michigan. And I just love the water. I love the beach, and this time of year it's getting cooler, but today it's crazy. It's 70 degrees outside today, and it was, you know, like 30 degrees at night a few days ago, so, or I should say like a week ago. This past week was wonderful, absolutely gorgeous. So we're getting a little bit of a heat wave. I'll take that as long as we can. But you can see these beautiful water with the short rows that this is creating. It looks like water. It looks like little waves. I just love it. And then this is my Ocean's Deep colorway for Multifarious Nature. And you can see it has like a halo on it, and like brighter blue layers in it. I love that blue. It's so gorgeous. And then this is White Pine, which is another Multifarious Nature colorway that I dyed up. So this is a nice way for you guys to see it all knit up. They are both tonals. So they are a single color, but they do vary slightly because they're hand dyed. So there's like lighter portions, darker portions to the color based on how it took to the fiber. So there's that one. So I got quite a bit done on that. Very excited about that. I'm almost on the border section. I'm pretty certain that the border section is the next portion once I finish this next section of short rows, and I'm almost done with it. That portion, I should say. So I should be on that border the next time you guys see me. So that's exciting. And I got more done on Bee's socks, slipper socks. I'm calling them slipper socks because they look like little socks to me, but they are slippers. This is another free pattern that I found on Ravelry using my mom's yarn that she had purchased years and years and years ago. So I unfortunately can't include a link to the shop for this yarn because I don't know if they even exist anymore, and I don't know the shop that created it. So, but I just winged it with the colors that I had. The quantity of the yarn I have is random, so this is one of them. So this is the one, a sock, and I can put on my foot because I don't think it really does this pattern justice until it's on your foot, but I will show you those when they're complete on my feet. So there's that one. And the second one, I do not have second sock syndrome. So I kind of am getting a little impatient at the moment because I have a project I want to do for the holidays for my Secret Santa, and I need my knitting needles. So I'm like knitting up a storm trying to get these puppies off of the needle. So I am on the little ankle portion, I guess you'd call it that. I don't know why I can't think of what that's called at the moment, but that little portion that's here. So I just have to finish this row, this last row, and then I will be adding this magenta color to that top portion, and I think it's about 18 rows maybe at the most that I need to complete on this, and then it is done, and I can take off the needles and they will be finished, and it'll be a finished object. At the moment, it's still a work in progress, but I'm almost there. So you can see this is really cute. So I'll show you the one that's finished, but I obviously still need to weave in my ends, and I have an end inside there too, a couple ends that need to be woven in. But you can see the top of the foot, it has this cute like webbing pattern that it creates. I think it's so just fun. It's just fun. It's kind of like webbing, and they're wool, and I slipped this puppy on already to see like how it would fit, which it fits perfect. I'm so glad. This is, so I went with the medium. I wear an 8.5 US size, and this fits perfect. I have not blocked it yet. I don't think I'm going to. I don't think I'm going to block this. I block shirts. I haven't blocked my shawl yet, but certain things you probably should block, especially anything with lace work, just so you can really see the details of the lace work. But I'm not too worried about blocking this. Probably should, but I'm not going to. I'm not. These are just fun and just gonna go with it. Okay, so those are Bee's slippers, and those are also a free pattern from Ravelry, and I will include that link below as well. My raglan, I'm so excited. Okay guys, I got a bunch done on my raglan. I got so much done that I was working on this in the car. That's my favorite thing when my husband drives. I get to knit, and I was knitting in the car on this, and I got to a point where I just did not want to keep doing this in the car because I'm going to be working on the shaping. So the shoulder and neck shaping is the next portion of this pattern that I'm on. I finished the decreases, guys. I'm so excited. All right, so I'm hoping that you can see this and it will do it justice. So there is my progress keeper, this little guy right here. So you can see I got a couple inches done. I got a bunch of knitting done on this because the raglan decreases. So I've been decreasing, right? So the rows are getting shorter and shorter. So I've been able to get more done because there's less stitches. So I'm like so excited. So I've got, good grief. I've got, there we go. There we are. It looks like a shirt. I've got 2 sleeves, and then you can see the decreases, maybe. See if the lighting will work with me a little bit here. But I got the decreases going on here, so I'm probably around here-ish. And then it's going to be doing the shaping for the neck and the back region, which I've never done that before, so I'm excited to try that out. That's new to me as well as the raglan decreases. That's new to me too. And I've never done a long sleeve sweater, so this is my first time doing that. So this is using Expression Fiber Arts yarn. It's so soft. This is a blend. This is a, I want to say it's a silk, cashmere, and merino, superwash merino blend. So soft. I'm loving it and I cannot wait. So I have 2 strands together, and so I marled those, and that's what created this color. So I used a like kind of a mauve rose color, and then this deep blue color. Held those together. They're lace weight, so now they're about fingering weight yarn. And this is the color that came out. So you can see this is hand-dyed yarn. So Expression Fiber yarn is my first hand-dyed yarn purchase, like my first purchase of hand-dyed yarn. I'm really excited about that. And my first full-length sweater, long sleeve sweater. So this is a lot of learning new techniques in this, so which I love doing. So this is almost done, guys. I'm so excited because I'm hoping that I will have it done so I can wear it this holiday season, maybe Christmas time, or I don't know, if Thanksgiving's cold, I'll want that. So hopefully I'll have it done. I don't know if I'll have it done by Thanksgiving, but maybe by Christmas. I'm hoping. I am hoping. So, and that's that Pearl Soho lightweight raglan, and that pattern was also free, and I'll include that link below as well. Love my free patterns, and need my caffeine boost. So, oh, there we go. Need caffeine. I haven't had my coffee yet today. It's the afternoon, so it might be a bad idea that I'm drinking it now, but I needed it. All right, so what I'm gonna do for the rest of the video is talk about finished objects that I've done, and some fails that I encountered, and I think everyone can appreciate that, even if you're a very experienced knitter, or if you're kind of intermediate knitter. Like I'd say I'm kind of intermediate, like beginner intermediate. I don't know when you're considered an expert, but and then or a brand new knitter. So I'm gonna go ahead and start this off. So I don't know, I tried to record some of my patterns. Some of these I've done a while ago and I don't have the patterns and I don't know the names, so apologize about that. So this first one I'm going to talk about is socks. So I have made 3 pairs of socks. That was one of the, okay, so I started with hats. I started with hats and scarves, like most people do when I first started learning to knit. And then I decided I wanted to step it up a notch, and instead of going to sweaters or something like that, which really intimidated me, I was like, I'm gonna do socks, which maybe that intimidates some of you. And it did intimidate me, but I just did it slowly, and I'm gonna show you my first pair of socks, guys. So the yarn is, I can't believe it, I actually have one of the labels. So these are from Hobby Lobby. You can buy them probably at other places. Any like big box craft store, I would say, probably carries them. And their Premier Yarn is the brand, and I think it's Woolly. Of course, the sticker's like right on the exact name. I think it's like Woolly or something sock. There's no wool in this, by the way. So it is 93% acrylic, 7% basically nylon is the other, I want to say, percent. So it's 235 yards per little skein that you buy, and they're little. And you can do a full pair of socks with each ball. So it's very reasonably priced. You can get a pair of socks for around like $5 to $6. So while that isn't cheap compared to your big box brand socks, I definitely understand that. But if you're trying to like hand make socks, that's reasonably priced, I would say. This is a super fine yarn, and I made 3 socks with this yarn. So they're all different colors. I used different colors for each sock because that made it interesting. It is a basic sock, and I do have the pattern because it's on the label. So when you buy this yarn, it comes with the pattern, and it's even called Basic Sock, and it has your heel flap and gusset, I'm trying to get all these technical terms for you guys, and the cuff and all that. So this was the first pair that I made. Isn't it fun and wild? I can already see one of the flaws. All right, so when you work in the round, that's what I did. I did magic loop method, and I actually used not my Chiagu, which are my newer, really nice knitting needles that I purchased. These were cheap knitting needles that you could buy at, again, like even like your Meijer, your local store, very reasonably priced, inexpensive, with like the plastic cable, and they're connected to plastic needles. And while those worked, I mean, they were all right, it was extremely hard to get where the row like started tight when you go to start the next row. And so I don't know if you can see this, but you can see the indent at least. This is a gap. And I never blocked these. See, I told you, I don't block things. So I didn't block this. And there's a stripe down the middle. Now that's very common to have some gapping, but this is like a legit ladder. Like, this is big. Sorry, I didn't mean to like flip you off there. This is really big. Right? So see guys, everybody does it. And it's like that on both sides of the sock. This was the first sock, okay? So I knit, I'm pretty sure if I recall correctly, I knit this one, and I think I did it from start, which is, this is a heel down or cuff down. So I think I did this complete sock, and then I did the second one. But I don't know if you can't probably see it too well, but the decreases, they're not right, guys. Okay, so when you decrease, it's supposed to go down the side of the front of the foot, and it's supposed to look really nice and hug your foot and be amazing. Well, this is not, and it's hilarious because you can't appreciate it like this. But when I wear this sock, the decrease is like on the corner, like almost the top of the side of my foot, and it looks hilarious. No one probably notices it because I doubt anyone is staring at my foot that closely. But yeah, so there's a lot of errors and a lot of funkiness in these socks, but these were just for me, and they're hilarious, but they are so comfortable. These are some of the most comfortable socks I own, are the ones that I made, and they are machine washable. And yes, I shouldn't put them in the dryer. I do. I put them in the dryer, guys. I don't put any of my hand knit items in the dryer, but I put these in the dryer. They don't shrink because of what they're made out of. Anything that's like 100% acrylic, you don't really need to worry about it shrinking or anything like that. I just don't recommend putting it in the dryer for the obvious reasons that they could kill you, especially if you wash jeans. I never put my jeans in the dryer, but if you're someone who does, I mean, you have a metal zipper, right? Metal zippers and stitches, oh my gosh, no, 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 don't do it. Don't do it. You would just cry after all the months that it may have taken you to make that. Speaking of which, okay, so this is the third pair of socks I made. I'm totally doing this out of order, but mainly just because this is hilarious and they were right in front of me. So this is the third pair of socks I made. These I did not make for myself. I am not sure yet. I might list these for sale, but they took a long time to make. I will, of course, not charge for the fact of one of the reasons they took so long to make, and my husband can attest to this. It's hilarious, kind of. I can laugh about it now. So I did the decreases correctly. Decreases are in the right spot. There's no major gapping. I knit it really tightly in the round. These are a huge success in my book. I did not have any issues when it comes to when it's finished. I had issues when I was working on it. So when I was working on this, I was doing this 2 at a time. So I actually had 2 of the little plastic circular knitting needles. I had them both going at the same time, and I just knit like each portion. I did the cuff and then the top of the cuff on the other knitting needle. Then I picked up the original knitting needle and did the length, right? And then I picked up my other one and did the length, so that I was doing each section at the same time. So in essence, you would almost have your socks completed at the same time. So that was the goal. Well, midway through this sock, and by midway, I mean actually very far, I was in my decrease area, and I discovered I had totally screwed up. I either had dropped a few stitches or I don't know. Something wasn't right. I definitely screwed it up. And I didn't know, especially with all the decreasing and the shaping that was going on, I did not know how to rip back. Like to a portion. I didn't put any lifelines in. I had no idea. I had never done a lifeline. So after months and months of work, I ripped this completely back, guys. Okay, so I was down here and I ripped the entire thing and started over. See, everybody does it, okay? It is totally fine. But as I was unraveling it, I'm just going, oh my goodness, no. It's like I totally screwed it up. But, you know, they're good now. They're good, and I want to say they're like a size 7. I have to double check that. I say they're like a 7 or 7.5. So I may sell these because I'm not a 7.5. They'll probably fit, but they'll just be they'll be snug. But they're just really a nice neutral. And this is a self-striping yarn, so all you do is you just knit along and it creates these different patterns. So this was my original, this is the other one, and these are all the same brand. They're that Premier yarn. And then this is the second sock I ever made. This pair I do wear. And I got the toes correct. I want to say, yeah, I did correct where I tightened all of my rows. I didn't have any of the laddering effect this time. So that's the nice part. You know, you learn from your mistakes, right? Your first one might be screwy, but then your second one will be good. So this one worked out really well. I wear this all the time. So comfortable, so comfortable. And because this has that like, it's like nylon and like elastane basically is what that is. And then it's acrylic. And so it's just super stretchy. And so when you're knitting and you pull it stretched to like knit, it just gets together and has a nice tight stitch. These are really a decent sock yarn if you want like a super versatile sock that you can just throw in the wash, don't have to think about. I do highly recommend this brand, that Premier yarn, for their super fine sock. I like it a lot. So I've done 3 socks, and there were some pitfalls. And then I made this, which this is my first crocheted garment. So this is crocheted, and I don't know how well this is going to do it justice. This is a free pattern as well, or was. I'll see if I can find it, and I cannot remember the name of it at the moment. It's like a cocoon, a little jacket. And it has this bobble detail. I'm going to see if I can try to get this in here. I don't know if you're going to be able to see it. This is all acrylic. This is just acrylic yarn. And it is like this amazing cocoon blanket jacket. And you can see there's this little, oh, there we go. Now you can see it. There's little pockets on both sides. And they're the dolman sleeves. So you can see it's just like this cocoon. And, oh, it's so comfy and warm, but I don't need that today because it is warm outside. So I just wanted you to see that. So this one worked out really well. I can't remember if I had any issues with it, but it was pretty quick comparatively to anything else I've done knit-wise. Crochet, I definitely find I can do that a lot quicker. I feel like a lot of people find that, but yes, that went really well. The next item that I made, this is the next item that I made since trying to like really get back into knitting, is the shirt that I have on. So this is the Melly Tee by Emily Walton, and you can find it on expressionfiberarts.com, and it is not a free pattern. So it was when I got it, and they periodically have their patterns free. So definitely follow that website and check out their patterns. So this is a little different than the pattern. It's ended up being a little loose. A lot of that had to do with my gauge and what I used. So this is a blend. It is a cotton bamboo blend yarn. So it's very easy to wash. I hand washed it and blocked it. However, it's still very loose. So you can see how it kind of like ebbs and flows, has a little sway to it. I don't think it's supposed to be that loose, but I don't know. I was a little afraid. I had never made a garment like this. So with the bottom, I was a little afraid that it would be too tight to get over, like just get on. Now it's just super loose, but whatever. It's my first color work garment though. So there's a lot of color work in the yoke here. And I loved this. This is my COVID sweater. I said the bad word. I tried to avoid it. I don't want to stress anybody out, but that's what I did. This was my first project at the beginning of all of that, and I needed to do something that would distract me from the stress that was going on because of it. And this was that sweater. My goal was to finish it before the whole stay-at-home order that we had here in Michigan, and I did. So that was my big project, and I'm very excited. I love the way it turned out. It's different than the way I expected, but it's very comfortable, and I enjoy it quite a bit. And I did have an issue though. I had an issue partway through the colorwork section where it was incorrect. The stitch count wasn't right, and I think it was something to do with the pattern because I did it a million times in my head and the numbers were not correct. So I did actually have to alter that slightly, and for the life of me I can't remember how. I think I made notes, I hope. But I ripped back because I learned my lesson. I put in lifelines. I put in lifelines after each section of my yoke, so that way I could rip back and it would be all good. So I did have to rip back. I ripped back my safety line, put my needles back in, good to go, and I survived. Thank goodness. All right, so my next, after this project that I worked on, is another little t-shirt. So this is the Hattie tee. I think I started this in March. This was after that. So this is the Hattie tee. This did not turn out, I mean, it's all right. It's okay, but I think the pattern with the yarn that was not a good mix. So this is the Hattie tee by Emily Walton, which is Expression Fiber Arts artist, pattern artist, but you cannot see the lace work. So there's lace work throughout this whole area, but you can't see it because of the yarn. I had a bunch of yarn from these other socks, and so I decided to use it in a garment that's, you know, would be easily washed and lightweight for the summer. But it's a very loud, I guess you could call it loud pattern that it created, and so having lace work in there, you really can't appreciate the lace work because of the pattern. I still like the little tee. It's cute. It's slightly cropped, so you see the length here compared to what I've got on, but it's a little short, so you have to use, I have to wear it either with a skirt or over a dress, something like that. But when I knit up the sides, and so this is a two-piece. So you've got your front piece, you have your back piece, and then you stitch them together, and you do a 3-needle bind off for the sleeves, which that was my first time doing the 3-needle bind off, and I actually really enjoyed that. It looks really nice. It gives you a good strength there. These sleeves are tighter than the ones that I have on this one. So again, it has to do with your yarn. This is a different type of yarn, so it's all right, you know, but I don't think, especially with all the pretty lace work that's in it, if you look up the pattern, you can see there's these little V lace work around the yoke region, and you just really can't appreciate it with this pattern. So, oh well. Again, live and learn. So if I ever do something with lace work, I don't want a very busy yarn because you don't get to appreciate it. So the next item that I have here that's finished is one that I showed in one of my previous videos, and this is my West Egg Shawl. West Egg Shawl. Oh my goodness, guys. I love this shawl so much. I've worn it already a couple times. It is so beautiful, and it does this curling on the ends, and it has this brioche section. So you got brioche, and more brioche, and it looks like Art Deco. It looks kind of just amazing. It's so beautiful, and this has my yarn in it. So this yarn here, that is this green with blue, is one of mine. And then I also have this one here, this multicolor, which this is the Multifarious Nature colorway. So that's Multifarious Nature knit up, and that's one of my colorways as well. And oh yeah, this is Balsam Fir. I should tell you the name of it. So that's Balsam Fir is the green with the blue. And you can wear this all kinds of ways. I'm not gonna be able to leave it on because it gets so warm, but because it's wool. There's wool in this. It's nice and warm, but so warm and squishy. I've already worn it to work. I love it so much. Okay, so the West Egg Shawl was by Ellen Rose Knits, and someone contacted me on Ravelry, which I apologize if you happen to see this and I need to contact you back, but they asked about the pattern, and I apologize. I cannot give out any details about the pattern. One, I actually cannot access the pattern anymore because it's no longer free. It was free, and I'm grateful it was free because I got to get my paws on it to do it, but it is not free anymore. So the artist who created it, she is charging now for the pattern. So, you know, I'll leave the link below, and then you can purchase it and then support her. And it's a great pattern. It's amazing. I highly recommend, if you don't know brioche though, to watch a few videos, look up how to do that prior to doing that pattern, because you need to know how to do brioche. That's very important, actually, because the way her pattern is written definitely lends itself to the fact that you know how to do brioche. So keep that in mind. Anyway, so I just realized this is going really long compared to my usual videos, and I apologize. So I'm going to wrap this up really quick here, but I just wanted you guys to know that, guess what? Everybody makes mistakes, and it's totally normal. It's fine. Just keep trucking, keep trying, and you will succeed, and you will get so much joy out of finishing these projects and wearing them or giving them as gifts. And something I'll talk about in a video coming up, and I apologize, I'm going to make some noise here, but so I got this for Christmas last year. My husband gifted me this, which is awesome. It is a knitting machine, and I got the king size version, so you can make hats. I make hats with this, and it takes me about a half hour, I kid you not, to make a double thickness beanie. So that is when anything I have posted in my Etsy shop that says it is a beanie that was like machine knit beanie, that's what I used, and it's awesome. So I'll do a video about that sometime if you guys would like, and show you how that works. And I'm just gonna wrap this up then, guys. So I hope you are well. I hope you're happy and healthy, and I hope you're creating. And please, leave a message below if there's anything that you're curious about, knitting wise, or with the dyeing of the yarn. If you're curious about any of that in particular and you'd like me to talk about it in a future video, please leave a comment below. I'd love to hear about it and add that, because I want you guys to enjoy what I put up, and I want to put up things that you'll enjoy. So I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your week. Take care. Bye. But you know how to do brioche, so keep that in mind. Anyway, so I just realized this is going really long compared to my usual videos, and I apologize. So I'm going to wrap this up really quick here, but I just wanted you guys to know that, guess what? Everybody makes mistakes, and it's totally normal. It's fine. Just keep trucking, keep trying, and you will succeed, and you will get so much joy out of finishing these projects and wearing them or giving them as gifts. And something I'll talk about in a video coming up, and I apologize, I'm going to make some noise here, but so I got this for Christmas last year. My husband gifted me this, which is awesome. It is a knitting machine, and I got the king size version, so you can make hats. I make hats with this, and it takes me about a half hour, I kid you not, to make a double thickness beanie. So that is when anything I have posted in my Etsy shop that says it is a beanie that was like machine knit beanie, that's what I used, and it's awesome. So I'll do a video about that sometime if you guys would like, and show you how that works. And I'm just gonna wrap this up then, guys. So I hope you are well. I hope you're happy and healthy, and I hope you're creating. And please, leave a message below if there's anything that you're curious about, knitting wise, or with the dyeing of the yarn. If you're curious about any of that in particular and you'd like me to talk about it in a future video, please leave a comment below. I'd love to hear about it and add that, because I want you guys to enjoy what I put up, and I want to put up things that you'll enjoy. So I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your week. Take care. Bye.